Welcome, everyone, to the University of Puget Sound here in beautiful Tacoma, Washington. Garo Fontaine with you live for breakfast in Tacoma. Goldpanners baseball ready to take on the Everett Merchants, a rematch from the ball game a few nights ago. One the Goldpanners would like to erase the memories of and exact a little revenge. The Merchants fell behind 3-0 in that one, but then Everett ran away with it late 13-5 all over the Goldpanners as Goldpanner miscues and pitching issues and errors doomed them against the Merchants in their first meeting of the season. This is their second and final meeting of the summer, and the Goldpanners get their first look at the newest member of the pitching staff, Alex Verdugo. Alex Verdugo making his first appearance for Fairbanks. The 6'3" right-hander from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley out of Chula Vista, California. And he is on the mound, ready to work against the Everett Merchants, who will start with Aaron Barber. Barber, the third baseman, and he pops the first pitch up high into the sky behind home plate. And this one will land in the bleachers here, where we've got a good morning crowd here taking in this early game between the Goldpanners and Merchants. After this game, the Merchants will take on the Seattle Studs. So 2 games for Everett today, just 1 for the Goldpanners, and then a final game of this road trip tomorrow at 1 p.m. Fairbanks taking on the Seattle Studs. And a long delay before the strike call, but the right hand is up. And Verdugo with now 2 strikes on Barber. Barber will be followed by Cole Kramer and Ryan Witt. Kaysen Taggart batting cleanup for Everett. That was a line foul. Will Herron will bat 5th. 6th is Kai Alberghini. Jack Johnson in the 7th spot. Teddy Bishop is the designated hitter in the 8th hole. And Jacob Burkett at second base batting 9th. Alex Verdugo. This is up high on Aaron Barber. A ball and 2 strikes on the third baseman for the Everett Merchants, leading things off here. Goldpanners getting a much-needed win yesterday over the Seattle Studs in a good pitching matchup. Pretty clean game as this one is chopped over the mound. And behind second base, Milliken stops, turns, throws, and gets the out at first. Milliken didn't have a whole lot of time to wind up that throw, but showed off his strong arm from behind the bag to get rid of Barber. Play goes 4-3, brings up Cole Kramer. Kramer, the shortstop for the Everett Merchants. Now batting against Alex Verdugo, 1 up and 1 down. Goldpanners winning that game 3-2 in walk-off fashion, trailed in the 9th inning 2-1 before the dramatics ensued. Swing and a miss for strike 1. The Panners trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th. The first batter struck out swinging. And Cole Alexander singled with 1 out. And he was replaced by the pinch runner Alex Garcia, who stole second. And then on a grounder to first, Garcia went to third, so there were 2 outs. A runner at third base, Panners trailing by 1. And Caleb Milliken singled in the tying run on an 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Panners were down to their last strike before Milliken's base hit tied the game. Milliken went to second on a wild pitch, and then Tate Shamau with a little flare down the right field line that eluded the Studs right fielder and landed in for a base hit. Milliken coming all the way around to score. And the Panners walked off the Studs by a final score of 3-2. A couple of strikes on Cole Kramer. A ball and 2 strikes. Nolan Meredith, an excellent start for Fairbanks. 5 scoreless on just 2 base hits. 2 strikeouts, just 1 walk for Meredith. And then Steven Vasquez, a very good effort thereafter. Steven's numbers not the same and don't pop out the way Nolan Meredith did, but if you watched that game, you saw what a good game he pitched despite giving up 2 runs over 4 innings. On 5 hits, he struck out 5, only walked 1. And Vasquez made the big pitches when they mattered most. And he got the win. Kramer swings and misses for strike 3. 2 up and 2 down here in the first inning for Alex Verdugo, the newest member of this Goldpanner pitching staff. Ryan Witt, the center fielder, batting with 2 outs and the bases empty here in the top of inning number 1. Goldpanners and Everett Merchants here on a morning game under cloudy skies. It's warm, though. And after the game, Goldpanners will head back to the hotel, shower up, get some food, and then we'll head north to Seattle for the Mariners game. Mariners and Blue Jays tonight. Misses downstairs. Catching for the Goldpanners, Rafael Flores. He's getting the signs from head coach Mark Lindsay. That one, wow. Somehow dancing out of the way was Witt. What a pitch well inside. 2 outs, nobody on. Catching, as I mentioned, is Rafael Flores. Alex Garcia gets the start at first base for Fairbanks today. Caleb Milliken, the second baseman. Griffin Harrison at short. Tate Shamau at third. Brock Rudy is out in left. Dominic Hughes, the center fielder, and the right fielder is Caden Clark. This one is chopped towards third. Shamau charging, throwing, and safe. No chance. Shamau did all he could. But as we've seen so much here at UPS Field, a lot of infield base hits with this thick grass. It was a nice play by Shamau, but couldn't get Witt on that chopper to third base. So a 2-out base runner for the Merchants brings up Kaysen Taggart. Catcher for the Merchants and cleanup hitter swings and misses for strike 1. Goldpanners at the top of the order will have Hughes, Shamau, and Rudy starting things off. As the sun fights its way through the cloud cover here in Tacoma. And this one is fouled back. A couple of strikes now on Kaysen Taggart. Garo Von Dane here live. Alexis Friedman out snapping photos for the Goldpanner Instagram and Facebook pages. You can see all of her work there. Took about 400 pictures yesterday. She says that's a little below average. Kaysen Taggart, he'll be followed by Will Herron, the first baseman for Everett. Goldpanners had a 3-0 lead 2 days ago against the Merchants in the 5th inning, but that all came crashing down. Runner takes off, and this one is hit high and deep to center field. Hughes is going back towards the warning track, reaches up, and will make the catch for out number 3. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. Goldpanners coming to bat. Garo Von Dane here in Tacoma, Washington at the University of Puget Sound, home of the Loggers during the school year. And the Goldpanners and Everett Merchants meeting up one final time this season. Dominic Hughes leading off against the right-hander Tyson Willis. Tyson Willis from Everett College on the mound here for the Merchants against these Goldpanners. Panners getting a much-needed win yesterday over the Studs and trying to pick up 2 in a row here. They have evened up their road trip record at 4-4, have the Goldpanners, with this game, and then one more tomorrow at 1 p.m. Willis to Dominic Hughes, and he tries to put a bunt down third base side, but it bounces into foul territory. Hit the edge of the grass where it meets the dirt, and that lip just shot it to the left and sent it foul. So Hughes will come back and pick up the lumber. Dominic Hughes will be followed by Tate Shimau and Brock Rudy. In the cleanup spot, Rafael Flores, Caleb Milliken batting 5th. The designated hitter today is Blake Hiraki. He's in the 6th spot. Griffin Harrison batting 7th. Caden Clark in the 8 hole, and Alex Garcia, the North Pole, Alaska native, batting 9th. Swing and a miss, and that takes care of Hughes. 1 up and 1 down for Tyson Willis. Brings up Tate Shimau for the Goldpanners. The freshman to be at Southern Cal, Tate Shimau. 18 years old. A right-handed hitter. Has played at short and third base most of the season for the Goldpanners. 1 out, base is empty for Shimau. Swinging a foul tip. So the last couple of days we saw perhaps one of the ugliest games of the season for the Goldpanners, and then much cleaner, prettier game, if you will, yesterday. I mentioned the effort by Nolan Meredith, 5 scoreless. Steven Vasquez, 4 innings, 2 runs. 0 errors for the Goldpanners after 10 errors in their previous 3 games. Lined up the middle by Shimau for a base hit. And a 1-out base runner for the Goldpanners here in the bottom of the first inning, scoreless game. Garo Von Dane here at the University of Puget Sound. Here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Team headed to the Mariners game tonight. Everybody excited about that. Mariners and Blue Jays should be a huge Canadian contingent. The Canadians always come down here to Seattle for games. The Kraken NHL games against the Vancouver Canucks were packed with Canadians, of course, and the Blue Jays, well, they're Canada's team. Here's Brock Rudy, and I throw to first base, Mao back in time. Goldpanners like to run. And Brock Rudy likes to hit. Goldpanner outfielder from the University of Utah. Shimau bluffing, and he gets back to first without a throw. Tyson Willis, the starting pitcher for the Merchants, working with a runner at first base and 1 out. Brock Rudy, the batter. Rafael Flores is on deck. Rudy, 14 for his last 30 at the plate. Just under 500 over that span. And Brock digs back in. Missed the year with injuries, but getting plenty of time here this summer with the Panners. And now he squares around and takes a ball low, throw to second base, not in time. Shimau slides in safely. Ball was high, but I think Shimau beat that throw anyway. Stolen bag for Tate. And it's 2 balls and a strike on Brock Rudy. Now a runner in scoring position. Pitch on the way. Rudy swings and fouls this one off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With Tate Shimau at second base.
Runner in scoring position for the Goldpanners. Kramer loosely holding Shimau at second.
Two pitch on the way. And it is chopped towards the mound. Willis has it, underhand flip to the bag, and he's got Rudy by a step. Play goes 1-3 on the putout of Brock Rudy. Over to third goes Shimau, and now it's up to Rafael Flores to bring in the first run of the game. Huge win last night over the Studs that come from behind walk-off after trailing 2-1. Goldpanner pitchers allowed just 2 walks yesterday after 9 the day before. That game against the Merchants, 9 walks, 2 hit batsmen, and 4 errors. Cole Alexander, a big game yesterday, went 3 for 3 with a double. And got that first base hit in the 9th inning, the start of the rally. That went way outside and in the dirt. It's going to go to the backstop, and Shimau will score. 1-0 Goldpanners. Tate Shimau and the Goldpanners manufacture a run here in the bottom of the first inning. A single, a stolen base. Runner takes third on a ground out and scores on a wild pitch. Rafael Flores now batting with nobody on. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. And he takes a strike. Goldpanners strike first here in the bottom of inning number 1. Mount Rainier was visible beyond the center field fence during pregame, but it is covered up by clouds now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Flores. The sophomore from Rio Hondo Junior College, Anaheim native, awaiting the 2-2 offering. And he hits this one high and deep to right. Going back, looking for it is Alberghini, and will make the catch right in front of the fence. That's it for the Goldpanners here in the first inning, but they score a run on 1 base hit. Fairbanks in front, 1-0 after 1. Second inning here from the University of Puget Sound in beautiful Tacoma, Washington. The sun has come out and it has decided to beat on us here in the press box on a warm Saturday morning here just south of the Emerald City, where we'll be tomorrow, or rather tonight, with a Mariners game. 1-0 Goldpanners in front of the Everett Merchants. And leading things off here for Everett is Will Herron, the first baseman. He'll be followed by Kai Alberghini and Jack Johnson. Second inning of work for the newest Goldpanner, Alex Verdugo. Verdugo faced 4 batters in the first inning, gave up an infield hit, but that was all. And the right-hander sets and misses down low. 2 balls and a strike, with the Panners leading 1-0. Goldpanners start the day 15 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. After the 11-1-1 start, are now 4-8 over their last 12. And trying to push their road record over 500 here today. And a strike is called. 3-2 to Will Herron for the Everett Merchants. Harold Pyatt back in the dugout with Everett after falling ill and missing the games earlier this week as Herron singles to left. A leadoff base hit for Will Herron. And the Merchants in business here in the second inning, trailing 1-0, brings up Kai Alberghini, the right fielder for Everett, who had to go all the way back to the warning track to make that catch on the Flores flyout to end the bottom of the first. So, yeah, good to see Harold Pyatt back after beating the illness he was that had him under the weather. And Verdugo drops one in for a strike. Harold Pyatt has been in charge of this program since the very beginning, starting in 1973. Told the stories the other day about Harold. He played well into his 40s for the Merchants, NBC Hall of Famer. And at age 47, broke up a no-hitter in a pinch hitting role at the NBC World Series. And now a long coaching career to go along with his extended playing career. The Merchants had a shot at another NBC title a few years ago, making it all the way to the finals, but then having to face a team with all ex-major leaguers. Ground ball to short, throw to second for 1. Not going to get the out at first, but they'll take the force out at second base. And Alberghini reaches on the fielder's choice, 1 away for Jack Johnson. Yeah, the Merchants had to fight their way through that NBC World Series. They get all the way to the championship game and then are rewarded by having to face Roy Halladay and a team of all ex-major leaguers. And the big leaguers won after losing the year before. The team had guys like Dan Ugla, Josh Beckett, Roger Clemens. Mentioned Roy Halladay, the late Roy Halladay. Jack Wilson. The LaRoche brothers. And they only brought that big league team to the NBC World Series for 2 tournaments. Whole thing started by the LaRoche brothers. One nothing Goldpanners here in the top of the second. The Merchants have a runner on and 1 away, and Johnson swings and misses at a slider. And the strikeout for Johnson. How about yesterday? Steven Vasquez was 1 pitch away from an immaculate inning. He struck out the side and threw just one ball.
First home run in quite a while. Bishop, not known as a power hitter, but
Here's Teddy Bishop,
plenty of pop on Wednesday. This pitch
and that one gets away from Flores, and that allows the runner to go to second base. So he gets into scoring position for Teddy Bishop, the designated hitter for the Merchants. That Major League team I speak of, the first year they played, they lost in the semifinals to the Hayes, Kansas Larks in 18 innings. A young reliever went 8 1/3 relief to get the win. A memory that he'll always cherish. Mowing down ex-big leaguers for 8 1/3. The Larks won and then had to play in the championship the next day with no pitching left and lost.
2-0. Bishop takes call strike.
2-1 to Teddy Bishop with a runner at second base and 2 away here in the top of inning number 2. Yesterday, one of our fastest games of the year, about 2 1/4.
With a 5-game homestand. Home against the Red Dudes Wednesday and a 3-game weekend set. Authors.
Lanes one in for a strike. Alex Verdugo
Pitches called strike 2-2.
with 2 balls and 2 strikes on Teddy Bishop. Jacob Burkett is in the 9th spot and playing second base.
Game or 2. A few rainouts early.
You remember him, he pitched a couple of days ago against the Goldpanners. Here's the 2-2 from Verdugo. Swing and a miss, he strikes out Bishop. Back-to-back strikeouts, 3 in the game for Verdugo. Inning and a half in the books, it's the Goldpanners 1, Merchants nothing. Bottom of the second from UPS Field here in Tacoma, Washington. As the sun has come out, the clouds are separating, and Caleb Milliken is at the plate for the Goldpanners. Milliken, then the designated hitter Blake Hiraki and Griffin Harrison do up 5, 6, and 7 spots in the Goldpanner batting order. Fairbanks leading 1-0 here over the Merchants. And Milliken will try to give the Goldpanners a leadoff base runner. Caleb, the junior from Pomona, Pitzer, 6 foot tall, from Berkeley, California. A left-handed hitter against the righty, Tyson Willis. This one is hit high into right center field and towards right field. Ryan Witt will make the catch for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down. Here in the bottom of the second inning, the Goldpanners, the home team, winning the coin toss. Panners will be the road team tomorrow in the trip finale against the Seattle Studs. 1 p.m. Pacific start for that one. And then the Panners will make the trip back to Fairbanks, have a day off, and then July 13th begin a series against the Inland Valley Pirates. That pitch missed everything except the home plate umpire. And he is going to try and walk that one off. Tyson Willis working to Blake Hiraki, the DH, today, and catcher for the Goldpanners out of the University of Hawaii, where a few Goldpanners are going to be playing for the Warriors this year. They're no longer the Rainbow Warriors, just the Warriors. I miss those old Rainbow Warrior unis they had. Hiraki. 3 balls and no strikes against Willis with 1 out and the bases empty. Goldpanners getting a run in the first inning. A Tate Shamau single with 1 out, stole second, went to third on a ground out, then scored on a wild pitch. Taken all the way. It's a strike 3-1. So Hiraki at Hawaii. Cole Alexander, a sophomore at Hawaii. Sean Rimmer transferring to Hawaii. And he misses for ball 4, so Hiraki takes his base. 5-pitch walk. And the Goldpanners have a runner on with 1 away for Griffin Harrison. Harrison, Panner shortstop from Sacramento State, playing here in front of some family and friends. And Griffin trying to break out of a little bit of a slump here. 1 for his last 19 at the plate. Griffin bats here with a runner at first and 1 away. Hiraki takes his lead. And a swing and a miss. 0-1. So yeah, July 13th, our next game at Groudon. Look forward to seeing all of our Fairbanks friends again. And we're going to be dancing through some moisture when we get back. 50% chance of rain every day next week starting Sunday. Actually, there might be some rain in the area today in Fairbanks. And hopefully there's just enough to get rid of some of that smoke and fire, but not too much to interfere with play. We have not had a rain out this year. We had that 1 delay against the Waves for about an hour. Throw to first, runner back safely. And at Groudon, it dries really quickly. So it really has to be raining to get a rain out in Fairbanks. But we get more rain generally in July. And then in August starts turning into fall. Popped high and out of play. But it has been smoky in Fairbanks since we left. Harrison, the batter, with a runner at first and 1 out. A ball and 2 strikes on Griff from Tyson Willis, the right-hander from Everett College. So far, Hiraki not going anywhere. Right-hander looks over his shoulder, delivers, and this one is popped high and out of play. Panners start that series with the Inland Valley Pirates on Wednesday. That is a 5-game series, 6-game series, concludes with a doubleheader on Sunday. That happens to be Faith and Family Day. Another throw to first base, runner back. Amongst our promotional nights, always a big one is hockey night. That'll be Friday, July 15th against the Inland Valley Pirates. Last year we had the head coach of the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks on the broadcast. And a couple years in a row, we had Colton Pareko join us on the broadcast. Colton, a former Nanook and now Stanley Cup winner with the St. Louis Blues. A big defenseman who comes back to Fairbanks every summer to do a free hockey camp for kids. And hopefully he'll be making it again this summer. Wasn't able to last summer.
Up to 30 pitches, 17 for strikes. Here's number 31.
And this one is grounded left side. Fielded by Barber, who throws on to second for one. They won't get the double play, but they'll take care of Hiraki. 5-4 on the putout. Harrison on the fielder's choice and brings up Caden Clark. Goldpanner right fielder Caden Clark has been on base 5 times in his last 9 plate appearances. Now 2 outs and a runner at first. Goldpanner's leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning under sunny skies here in the Pacific Northwest.
Pitch on the way, and it's low, bouncing in.
So hockey night, that's always a fun night at the ballpark. That's Friday at 7 p.m.
Garcia's on deck, 9-hole hitter. He would be next.
The UAF Alumni Night, another big one at the ballpark. That'll be Friday, July 22nd against the San Francisco Seals. The final day of the year is Fan Appreciation Day. We'll have 2 games on Saturday, July 30th at Groudon. That will conclude our home schedule before heading to Salt Lake City in the suburb of Kearns for the Marshals Tournament. I think there are 8 teams confirmed for that tournament, including the Marshals.
Late strike call, 2-1. Aaron holding the runner. 2-1 on the way. It's a bit low.
2-1 pitch misses downstairs. 3-1 now to Clark. The on-deck hitter is Alex Garcia. Panthers trying to figure out how to manufacture another run here in the second inning. And the 3-1 is in the dirt for ball 4. Clark draws another walk. He draws a lot of walks, does Caden. And now Gold at first and second for Alex Garcia. Garcia is looking for his first base hit as a Goldpanner. He has been used almost exclusively as a pinch runner. Has fewer than 10 at-bats, looking for that first base hit. But Coach Mark Lindsay loves what Alex brings to the table on the base pass, so he rewarded by being inserted into the starting lineup today. Now, Alex Garcia from North Pole, Alaska, plays at Butte College in Chico, California, and scored the tying run yesterday after being inserted as a pinch runner. Garcia takes high. It's 1-1. From Tyson Willis over at second base is Griffin Harrison. Caden Clark at first. No hits in the inning, but a couple of walks. And Willis with a 1-1 pitch coming to Garcia. Wanted to throw to second, but hangs on to the baseball. Garcia will step out and dig back in again, trying to bring in another Panther run with 2 outs.
Here's the 1-1 pitch.
That one right there for a strike. And it's 1-2. Bottom of inning number 2. And Garo Von Dane with you here live at University of Puget Sound on a Tacoma morning. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Garcia for the final out here in the second inning. Panthers strand a couple of base runners on no hits and a couple of walks. But it's Fairbanks 1, Everett 0 after 2. Third inning here from the University of Puget Sound, home of the Studs in the summertime, but today it's the Merchants and Goldpanners going at it. Studs and Merchants play in the Pacific International League together, along with another team we played in Grand Forks, the Redmond Dudes, and also those Seattle Blackfins. It's a pretty deep PIL this year, the deepest I have seen. Especially with the quick rise of the Blackfins. And the Dudes growing as a program. And there are also the Dub C Fish Sticks, who we will not see this year. We saw them last year when they were called the Highline Bears. And now they are the Dub C Fish Sticks. They hired a firm to research a new name, and that's the winner. There are also the Northwest Hunkers, who we saw in Grand Forks. Goldpanners, an independent team, and leading here 1-0 in the top of the third inning. Jacob Burkett swings and pops this one up into shallow right field, and going back and making a tumbling catch was Garcia. Great catch for Alex. A tough play looking up into the sun, and Garcia retires Burkett. And that prevents a leadoff runner from getting on for the Everett Merchants. And we go to the top of the order for Aaron Barber. Barber grounded out to second in his first at bat. Beautiful morning here. Now Mount Rainier's poking out. It's a beautiful sight here, Mount Rainier. You're able to hike about 2/3 of the way up, and then you need climbing gear and approvals to go to the top. It's not an easy climb. It's beautiful when you fly into Seattle from the east, because you see all of those volcanoes from the air. Grounded sharply past first baseman Garcia. It's going to go all the way into the corner. And Barber's going to hustle towards second base, and he will get there in time with a one-out double. Brings up Cole Kramer as the Merchants have the tying runner in scoring position. Well, how big is that play by Garcia? It's a 1-1 game if Garcia doesn't make the play on Burkett's pop-up. So Cole Kramer now will try to bring in a Merchants run. 1-0, Fairbanks in front. Here in the top of the third inning, Kramer the batter. Witt moves to the on-deck circle here against Alex Verdugo in his first Goldpanners start out of Texas Rio Grande Valley. And a strike called. Nolan Meredith with that great start yesterday. Had a good feeling about him. Just watching him walk out to the mound. Just had that confident look about him and comfortable. And went out and pitched a great game. Went 1-2-3 in the first 3 innings. Retired the first 11 batters of the game. Verdugo. Flores was set up off the plate. Kramer did not chase. 2 balls and a strike to the Merchants shortstop with a runner at second base and 1 out. Grounded to the right side. Garcia's got it. We'll flip to Verdugo, who gets to the bag, but he dropped the baseball. Did he hold it long enough for the out? No. Oh, Verdugo unable to hold on to the baseball. And now you're in a tough situation with runners at the corners and one out instead of a runner at third and 2 outs. So the error charged to the pitcher, Verdugo. He got to the bag in time, but ball came out of the glove. First error of the game for the Goldpanners. And now some trouble here for Verdugo as he will face Ryan Witt, who reached on an infield hit his first time up. He pops this one out of play. The Merchants trailing 1-0, but threatening here. In the top of the third. Right there for a strike, 0-2. With the batter, Kaysen Taggart is on deck. The Merchants catcher. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Witt on 3 pitches. That's the second out of the inning. And now we'll try to take care of Kaysen Taggart and strand a couple of Merchants. Everett was held scoreless in the first meeting a couple nights ago for the first 4 innings. But then the control issues arrived. 3 walks and a hit in the 5th inning, and they scored 3 runs. There was also an error to bring in more runs. And then a 6-run 6th inning broke it wide open for Everett. Taggart, the batter, lined out to center field in his first at bat. And now stands in against Verdugo with Merchants at the corners and 2 away. Ball and no strikes. Verdugo sets, delivers, and throws one up and in for ball 2. Beautiful day here. Man, oh man, we've had good weather here in Tacoma. It was amazing in Grand Forks, too. Couldn't ask for anything better. This one is fouled back to the netting. So 2-1 now on Taggart. Everett in these black tops with the Everett script across the front. They have had the same kind of uniform look for a long, long time. And the same hats with the E on the front. 3 balls and a strike now. Verdugo to Taggart with Will Heron on deck. Verdugo trying to put a stop to this 3rd inning. And the 3-1 pitch is on the way. And he lines this one to left. Here comes Brock Rudy to make the catch. And no damage done here in the 3rd inning. The Merchants, no runs, 1 hit, a couple of men left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Panners still leading 1-0. Goldpanners and Merchants here from UPS Field. Dominic Hughes sees the first pitch, hits it high and deep to right field. Not quite enough to get it out of the park, and it's caught on the warning track for out number 1. Dominic Hughes, an 0 for 2 start to his day. Hughes homered to right field a few days ago. And here's Tate Shamau. 1 for 1 day so far for Tate. He owns the only Goldpanner hit. Panners leading 1-0. Merchants threatened in the top of the third, getting runners at the corners with 1 out. But nice work for Alex Verdugo. Get out of it with a strikeout and a line out to left. Shamau and then Brock Rudy due up. Tyson Willis, number 21, the starting pitcher for the Merchants. Glad to have you with us on Panner Vision. Follow us all year long. And remember to hit the subscribe button at the top of the page while you're on there. And follow the Goldpanners on Twitter. And, of course, on Facebook and Instagram, where Alexis is posting all those pictures. I don't know if they're doing any TikTok from here or not. This ball is hit high into right field. Looks like Witt barely has to move, and he reaches up to make the catch. Yesterday with the sun, the fielders were having all sorts of problems. Nothing was an automatic out. And we saw some balls drop. In front of fielders, in between. And it was another bright day here today in Tacoma. 2 down in the bottom of the third. Brock Rudy, the batter, grounded out 1-3 in the first inning. And takes a pitch way up high. Number 29 in your programs, Brock Rudy. Had a 1 for 4 day yesterday against the Studs with a run scored, and he smokes this one down the right field side for a base hit. Rudy rounding first, and will hold to a single as the ball comes in from right fielder Alberghini, but Brock Rudy has his first hit of the day and the second Goldpanner hit of the ball game. It is 5 minutes before noon. Morning baseball for you here on Panner Vision. Let's never play a morning game again. We've had 2 this year, and that is enough. We are putting our foot down. Ball and no strikes to Rafael Flores. Had a 2-homer game against the Seattle Blackfins in Grand Forks. That was a spirited game, was it not? Remember, you can watch all those games on Panner Vision. They're all archived. And if you missed yesterday's game, that would be a good one to check out. Very good ball game yesterday, especially the way it ended. The Panners coming from behind. Their 4th come-from-behind walk-off win of the season. Had 3 of them early on. And picked up another one last night over the Seattle Studs. Leading here today 1-0. 2 outs. And a runner at first base for Flores. And he takes a strike. It's 3-1 from Tyson Willis. Yesterday, both starting pitchers went 5 innings. We'll see how long Willis and Verdugo can go. It's ball 4 to Flores, and the inning continues with 2 aboard. That is the 3rd walk issued by Tyson Willis. Just 2 Goldpanner hits, but 3 walks. And 1 run. Fairbanks leading 1-0 here, bottom 3. And Milliken will be the batter. Right now, a conversation between Willis
First Willis and his second baseman, Jacob Burkett.
and Jacob Burkett. Burkett was the starting pitcher a couple of days ago against the Goldpanners.
He started a couple games for Everett.
And he went 6 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits. He also walked 4 and struck out 3. And the right-hander is set to work to Milliken, who fouls this one back to the netting. Studs and Merchants will play later today. Goldpanners will head to the Mariner game. Unfortunately, the Tacoma Rainiers not in town, the AAA team. Those are some fun games to go to. Goldpanners played at the home of the Rainiers a few years ago against the Seattle Studs. So the Rainiers played, and then right after their game, the Goldpanners and Studs played. The Everett Merchants used to play against the Everett Aqua Sox every year when the Aqua Sox were a short season A. Went a lollipop to second, but Kramer's able to catch it behind second base. Goldpanners with 2 aboard and 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, and a 1-1 count to Caleb Milliken, who's 0 for 1 in the game. Yeah, they used to play the Aqua Sox, but then when Everett became a high A team, they started to not find room on their schedule for the Merchants. Merchants won some of those games against the Aqua Sox. A ball and 2 strikes on Milliken with 2 aboard. And Tyson Willis. A couple of looks at second base. Now goes into the windup and throws high for ball 2. Should Milliken reach, it would be Blake Hiraki. Milliken's been hitting the ball well these last couple of weeks, especially on this road trip. 1 for 4 yesterday, singled. That was very instrumental in that come from behind win. Drove in the tying run, or rather drove in the tying run and then scored the winning run on a Tate Shamau single. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and 2 outs. Runners will be on the move. And the 3-2 pitch from Willis is on the way. And it's down low for ball 4. And you see that so often when pitchers are focused on the base runners that they have trouble finding the strike zone. Second walk of the inning, and it loads the bases. 4 walks now in 2 2/3 for Tyson Willis. And now Blake Hiraki stands in. Blake walked in his first plate appearance, and he's got a chance to break this game open. 1-0, Fairbanks in front, bottom of the 3rd, 2 outs, and Gold on every base. Hiraki, Goldpanner catcher from Hawaii. Ball and no strikes. Willis swung on and hit back to the netting. It's 1-1. It's a big at bat here for Willis facing Hiraki. Hiraki, the DH today, trying to drive in some Goldpanner runs. And the 1-1 delivery is hit into shallow right, and this is going to drop for a base hit. In to score is Rudy. Here comes Flores. The ball is dropped in right field. And finally it comes in. And Hiraki brings in a couple with a big 2-out base hit to shallow right. And the Goldpanners leading now 3-0. Milliken over to third base on the play. And here come the Goldpanners doing it all with 2 outs. The first 2 batters were retired in the inning, but Brock Rudy got the rally started with a single, and then back-to-back walks to Flores and Milliken, and Hiraki with the base hit to right, scoring 2. And Harrison going to try to bring in some more Goldpanner runs. Swings and misses for strike 1. Griffin Harrison 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice. 3-0 Goldpanner lead here in the bottom of the third. Willis way inside, and spinning out of the way of it was Harrison. Chin high. A ball and a strike to Griff.
Dangerous moments for the Merchants.
Misses up and in again. Keeping an eye on Hiraki over at first base. 2 balls and a strike to Harrison. Pitch on the way. Harrison takes up high. 3 balls and a strike now. There are already 2 walks in the inning. And after Harrison would be Caden Clark, and Clark walks nearly every time he comes up, it seems like. 3-1 pitch to Harrison. Way up high, ball 4. And now the Merchants have some decisions to make after the 3rd walk of the inning for Tyson Willis. The bases are full of gold once again. And now they're going to talk things over on the mound. The bullpen is getting ready for Everett because Tyson Willis has run into trouble here in the 3rd. He got the first 2 outs, but a single, a couple of walks, a 2-run single for Hiraki, and then a walk to Harrison, and some words of encouragement. And now Tyson Willis is going to continue, and he will face Caden Clark. Clark walked in his first trip to the plate. Clark has now been on base 6 times in his last 10 plate appearances. 2 runs are in. It's a 3-0 lead for Fairbanks. And the bases are stacked. And he lands that one in for a strike. But he starts ahead of Clark, 0-1. Caden from Dixie State University. St. George, Utah. A swing and a miss.
2 away. Merchants looking to turn things over to their offense. It's been the best in the PIL this season.
0-2. And 2 outs with the bases full. Caden Clark against Tyson Willis.
Clark waits.
And the right-hander sets. Pitch on the way. And he swings and misses and strikes out. A 3-pitch strikeout for Willis to get out of the jam, but the Panners do score 2 and leave him loaded on 2 base hits. It's 3-0 Fairbanks after 3. Back on the mound for the Goldpanners, Alex Verdugo, as we start inning number 4 here from UPS Field in Tacoma, Washington. Home of the D3 Puget Sound Loggers. Verdugo's pitch is popped up high on the right side. Alex Garcia, long run in front of the Panner dugout, will make the catch to retire Will Heron. 1 up and 1 down. Here in the 4th inning, Alex Verdugo threw 3 1/3, no runs, on 3 base hits. 1 hit in each of the first 3 innings for the Everett Merchants from Everett, Washington, north of Seattle. It's about an hour trip from Seattle. Unless you go anywhere between 3 and 7 p.m., that'll take you a couple hours. Just brutal traffic. This one is fouled back to the netting. This area just kind of goes from Tacoma all the way up to north of Everett. All seemingly one large city. And you keep going north, you get to Bellingham, beautiful town, on the road towards Vancouver. This one is popped high and out of play by Alberghini. Vancouver, about a 3-hour drive from Seattle, as long as the border goes smooth. He misses away. It's ball and 2 strikes on Alberghini. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. In the 3rd inning, the Merchants got runners at the corners with 1 out, but could not score. Strike 3 called. Alberghini K'd by Verdugo. And for Alex Verdugo, that is strikeout number 5. Texas Rio Grande Valley. And he will face Jack Johnson, who was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. 2 outs, nobody on here, top of the 4th inning. So the Merchants had a great chance to get some runs in the 3rd. Were unable to do so, and the Panners come back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And now Verdugo trying to put up a 0 here in the 4th. Exactly what you want to do. 1-1 to Jack Johnson, left fielder for these Everett Merchants. We'll play the studs later today. Swing and a miss. It's the PIL has really been the studs and Merchants for many years, but they've got some competition this year in that league. Upstairs for a ball, it's 2-2. After Johnson would be Teddy Bishop. Johnson in the 7th spot in the batting order for Everett. This is our 2nd to last game of this road trip. Next time we're on the road, it'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah. Swing and a miss. 1-2-3 inning for Verdugo as he strikes out Johnson. 2 Ks in the inning, 6 in the game. It's the Panners leading 3-0 through 3 1/2. Bottom of the fourth inning from UPS Field here. The grass, natural surface here in Tacoma, Washington. We've enjoyed our time here in Tacoma, a cool town. Reminds me of old-time Seattle before the Amazon takeover of that city. And Tyson Willis back out here for the fourth inning. And he starts with a ball and a strike to Alex Garcia. Garcia 0 for 1. Struck out swinging back in the second inning. Panners getting 2 runs in the third. Left the bases loaded after Willis struck out Caden Clark, and Garcia bunts one down third base side, and an easy bunt single for Alex. Hey, and there's his first Goldpanner hit for the North Pole, Alaska native. And Garcia gives the Goldpanners a leadoff runner, and Garcia drives pitchers crazy when he's on the base paths. And he is sure to do that to Tyson Willis today. Garcia with that huge steal yesterday in the 9th inning. The ball beat him there, but somehow he got his hand around safely. Garcia bluffs on the first pitch to Hughes, which is called a strike. Dom 0 for 2 so far today. And there goes Garcia without a throw. He steals and stands up into second base. This is what head coach Mark Lindsay loves about Alex Garcia. And that's why he's in the starting lineup today. And Dominic Hughes in the hole here, 0-2. There is nobody out here in the fourth inning. Garcia takes his lead, and Hughes reaches down and pops this one up. Third base side, Barber calling for it, and will make the catch for out number 1. Brings up Tate Shamau. Shamau in the 2 spot in the batting order today. He will be followed by Brock Rudy. Shamau 1 for 2 in the game. And he's 4 for his last 7. Willis working with 1 out, a runner at second base. Garcia with a big lead. Dancing off of second base. Willis checks him a couple of times. And now finally time is called because Willis is focused on Garcia. Shamau, the batter, scored the first Goldpanner run back in the first inning. It's now a 3-0 lead, and Shamau takes a called strike. It's 1-1. Willis comes home. There goes the runner. There is no throw as Garcia steals third without a throw. He's fun to watch, isn't he? It's like Vince Coleman. For all you old friends of mine. Garcia all the way over to third now with 1 out. And here comes the infield onto the grass. And Shamau lines this one into center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Garcia will score easily, and it is 4-0 Goldpanners. How about that run picked up by Fairbanks? Well done by Garcia and Shamau. RBI single for Shamau. That's going to be it for Willis. Pitching change coming up from Tacoma. It's the Goldpanners 4, Merchants 0. Everett goes to the bullpen as Harold Pyatt comes out and removes Tyson Willis and brings in Jordan Luton. We saw Jordan Luton pitch a couple of nights ago. He was very effective for the Merchants. 2 scoreless on just 3 base hits. He struck out 5 in those 2 innings and walked just 1. And he starts with strike 1 to Brock Rudy. Panthers pick up another run here in the 4th inning. They lead it 4-0. And there goes the runner. Throw to second base, and this time they've got him. Shimao is thrown out. Caught stealing goes 2-4. And Shimao erased from the base paths. Good throw from Kaysen Taggart as he was able to get Tate Shimao. Now Brock Rudy batting with the bases empty and 2 away, and he fouls this one back to the netting. Four zip, Fairbanks in front here, bottom of inning number 4.
Rudy 1 and 2 with the run scored. Infield shifted to the right with Barber guarding.
And Jared Luton into the game.
At third. Time calls.
His second appearance in as many games against Fairbanks.
What a throw and tag by Kaysen Taggart and Jacob Burkett. Here's the pitch. 1-2.
And he misses up and away with that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brock Rudy. And I hear activity in the Goldpanner bullpen as well as Rudy fouls this one out of play. Hangs in there with 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases empty. 1 run is in. Goldpanners have 4 runs on 5 base hits today. Brock Rudy is 1 for 2 with a run scored. He awaits the 2-2 from Luton. And he swings and grounds this one just foul first base side. Panthers have scored runs in 3 of the first 4 innings.
2-2. Here it comes.
And it's down low, ball 3. The Merchants, one of the highest scoring teams in the PIL. And for the second consecutive game, Goldpanner pitching has held them scoreless through 4. Things changed in the first meeting as Everett wound up scoring 13 runs in that game. Panthers will hope to avoid a similar fate today. Rudy hanging in there with 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the 3-2 is on the way, and Luton misses upstairs. Doesn't walk many guys, but he walks Brock Rudy. And here's Rafael Flores. Flores 0 for 1, walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Jared Luton has given up just 1 run this year. Strikes out about 2 per inning. Doesn't walk many. That was his 4th of the season. Ball and no strikes to Rafael Flores. 9 for his last 23. And he takes a strike. It's 1-1. Brock Rudy at first base. Brock started a 2-out rally in the third inning.
Here it comes.
I'm trying to do so again here in the fourth. Luton misses for ball 2.
2-1.
Beautiful warm day here. Sunny skies in Tacoma. 11 a.m. start for this one. Pretty slow moving game so far for a low scoring game. We're an hour and a half old just about, and we're in the fourth inning. Luton readies and delivers, and Flores pops this one out of play. Two balls and 2 strikes to Rafe, with Rudy at first base.
High forecasted for 74. We'll likely see that in the second game of
And the right-hander readies with the 2-2 offering to Flores. Ooh, and he drops that one in for strike 3. Takes care of Flores and the Goldpanners here in the fourth inning. The Panners add another run and lead this game 4-0 through 4. New pitcher into the game for the Alaska Goldpanners as we go to inning number 5 from Tacoma, Washington, UPS Field. And Matthew Pinal enters the game, number 4. Matthew Pinal, two-way player for the Goldpanners at a Long Beach college. 6'2", right-hander from Southgate, California. And he deals outside 2-0 to Teddy Bishop, the designated hitter who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So excellent effort and debut for Alex Verdugo for the Goldpanners. In his first start, goes 4 innings, giving up no runs on just 3 base hits. He struck out 6 and walked 0. Pretty good debut for the newest Goldpanner from Texas Rio Grande Valley. Strike called, it's 3-1 from Matthew Pinal to Teddy Bishop. Swings and misses for strike 2. Pinal, one of the harder throwers on this Goldpanner pitching staff. And the 3-2 is popped up high. Foul territory. This one will get out of play. And Bishop hangs in there. Leading things off here for the Merchants. Everett has gotten the leadoff runner aboard once in the game. In the third inning, they had runners at the corners with one out but did not score. It was the fifth inning where the Merchants jumped on the Goldpanners in the game a couple of nights ago, and this one is hit down the right field line, and it is a foul ball, not by much down that right field line. And so he'll come back and pick up the lumber with a 3-2 count. So just 4 innings for Verdugo. And now it's Matthew Pinal. Pinal pitched against as this one is chop foul. Pinal pitched against the Studs in that 7-3 win. One scoreless, a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and he blows that one by Bishop. One up and one down for Pinal as he will face Jacob Burkett, who popped up to first in his first plate appearance. Goldpanners leading 4-0 here, the top of inning number 5. Verdugo with 6 strikeouts, Pinal with 1, in 1 batter faced. The 1 pitch is down low for a ball. Pinal, one of the top hitters on the team. And he has done very well pitching for this Goldpanner team as well. Just a little bit inside off the glove of Flores. And it's 2-1 on Jacob Burkett for the Everett Merchants, who are trying to find a way to get on the board here in this game. 3 balls in a strike. Burkett, a .212 hitter on the year, with 6 runs batted in. And he swings and misses. 3-2 now from Pinal. It went full on Bishop. Now 3-2 on Jacob Burkett. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Just waved at it. And back-to-back strikeouts for Matthew Pinal. And now he will face Aaron Barber at the top of the order. Barber 1 for 2 with a double in the game. Just 3 base hits for the Merchants. Barber's double, an infield hit for Ryan Witt, and a leadoff single for Will Herron in the second inning. Barber, a .429 hitter on the year. 14 runs batted in. And he lifts this one high into left. And Brock Rudy, moving a couple of steps back, reaches up and makes the catch in a 1-2-3 fifth inning for Matthew Pinal. We played half a ball game. It's the Goldpanners 4, Merchants nothing.
Milliken up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk.
Hit at the bottom of the fifth inning from UPS Field here in Tacoma, Washington. Garo Von Dane live on Pantervision. Great to have you all with us, following along all summer long on Pantervision. Remember to follow us on our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, where the pictures all get posted. And on Twitter, @RealGoldpanners. You can follow me, @VoiceOfGman. Just posted up the score from today's game. And the 4 scoreless from starting pitcher Alex Verdugo and a 1-2-3 fifth for Matthew Pennall. And now Jared Luton working Caleb Milliken, Blake Hiraki, and Griffin Harrison. This one is popped up into shallow left. And this one will be dropped by the left fielder Johnson right off of his glove. And safe at first base is Milliken. At first I wasn't sure he was going to catch up to that baseball. Then he did get there, but did not squeeze the baseball. So the error charged to left fielder Jack Johnson. And that means the leadoff runner is aboard for the Goldpanners. And Blake Hiraki 1 for 1, a 2-run single in the third inning, walked in the second inning. We've seen a few of those plays here on this trip. Again, put balls in play here, and anything can happen. A leadoff runner aboard, courtesy of an error here in the fifth inning. Throw to first, runner back safely. And now Jared Luton has to worry about base runners. Panthers getting a run in the first inning. Shamau scoring on a wild pitch after singling and stealing second. A 2-run third inning for Fairbanks on that 2-run single by Blake Hiraki that scored Rudy and Flores. That rally started with 2 outs. This one is chopped to short. Kramer has to wait for it, but he gets it to first in time. Hiraki is out on the 6-3 putout. Milliken advances to second base into scoring position for Griffin Harrison, who is 0 for 1 with a walk so far in the game. Panthers picked up a run in the fourth inning. A bunt single for Alex Garcia, who steals second and steals third without a throw on either steal. And then scored on the single by Tate Shamau. And the first pitch to Harrison swung on and missed. Goldpanners leading 4-0 and looking for more here in the fifth. And he breaks it over the plate for a strike. It's 0-2 on Harrison. Caden Clark is on deck for the Goldpanners.
Clark up next. Garcia in the hole.
Oh, and a big breaking ball in for strike 3. Dropped off a shelf. And 2 down here for the Goldpanners in the fifth. And that'll bring up Caden Clark, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout so far. Caden Clark, and then Alex Garcia to follow. The inning started with an error. Ball dropped by left fielder Jack Johnson. But a couple of Goldpanners retired. Panthers still have a runner on, but now 2 outs. Base hit here likely gives the Goldpanners another run. And the pitch is down and away for ball 1 to Caden Clark. The Tooele, Utah native. 6-foot right-handed hitter. And that one is thrown a foot in front of home plate and goes to the backstop, and that allows Milliken to get over to third on the wild pitch. And now you're a wild pitch from another run. Goldpanners have already scored a run that way.
2-0 to Clark.
And so Luton has to be careful here with Milliken just 90 feet away from the fifth Goldpanner run.
Right, Casey Tiger could have done more there to keep that ball in front of him. 2-0-2.
Clark with a 2-ball, no strike count. Swings through a fastball 2-1.
It's 2-1. No runs on 3 hits, 1 error for the Merchants. 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Alaska Goldpanners. 8th run here in the bottom of the 5th.
Luton shaking off signs. Now he approves. And Reddy's with the 2-1 offering to Caden Clark.
From the stretch, delivers.
And Clark pops this one up high. Right field side, headed towards foul territory and on the run. Unable to make the catch. Was able to get leather on it on a sliding play. And Alberghini almost had a very nice catch in foul territory, but unable to hold on. So Caden Clark still with life here in the 5th inning with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Now can he make the Merchants pay? With that runner over at third base. And Jared Luton trying to put an end to this 5th inning. Just a slight breeze here. A beautiful day in Tacoma. And Clark awaits the 2-2 offering from Luton, and it's on the way. Way up high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. After Clark is Alex Garcia. And the 3-2 pitch to Clark from Luton is on the way. Swung on and just getting a piece of it is Clark to foul it off. Hanging in there, that's Ryan Hansen in the third base box. And over at first is Jake Taylor, a couple of Mark Lindsay's first-year assistants. The 3-2 to Clark. Held off on a pitch that cut off of the plate for ball 4. Clark draws another walk, his second of the game. And now Gold at first and third for Alex Garcia. Garcia with a bunt single in the 4th inning. He struck out swinging back in the 2nd. And Garcia with a chance to drive in another Goldpanner run.
How he approaches this at bat, Luton needs now of any kind to end the inning. Luton comes home. Runner plus.
Swing and a miss for strike 1. Garcia brings back memories of Matt Jelilich, former Goldpanner outfielder who played at Pepperdine, who just was an automatic on the base paths. The 1-strike pitch, and they'll throw to first base. No hits in the inning, but an error and a walk have Gold at the corners with 2 outs. Goldpanners are 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Clark at first and Milliken at third base. And the pitch is upstairs for a ball. It's 1-1. Luton focused on the runner at first base. And he readies with the 1-1 to Garcia. On the way, Garcia tries to bunt and misses. Runner takes off for second. The ball bounces away. The run scores from third. And everything works to perfection for the Goldpanners despite Garcia not getting the bunt down. And it's 5-0 Goldpanners. Stolen base for Clark. Milliken scores, and Garcia now and still trying to bring in another Goldpanner run. It's 5-0 here in the 5th inning.
Garcia still the bat, 1-1 the counts. Now 5-0 Goldpanners.
And here's the 1-2. Takes outside for a ball.
2-1.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
2-2. That was a foul ball there on the steal. 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Panthers.
The runner at second base, that's Caden Clark. Panners manufacture another run here, and they do it without a base hit. And here's the 2-2 to Garcia. Gets just a piece of it to... Oh, and it's caught, though, into the glove of Taggart. I thought it hit the ground, but Taggart's got it in the glove, and Garcia strikes out. But the Goldpanners add another run. They lead it 5-0 through 5. Hit of the 6th inning here from Tacoma, Washington at the University of Puget Sound. And the first pitch to Cole Kramer is fouled back to the netting from Matthew Pinal. Second inning of work for Pinal, the freshman from Long Beach College. Pinal facing Kramer, Witt, and Taggart, 2, 3, and 4 spots here in the Merchants batting order. Harold Pyatt's Everett Merchants, a staple at the NBC World Series nearly every year. They won one title in '88, almost won another a few years ago, as I talked about earlier. And definitely were deserving of it, but had to face that team of all ex-major leaguers. This one is lined to right, and a diving attempt, and unable to make the catch is Clark. He got leather on it, but couldn't hold on to the baseball, and Kramer will jog into second base with a double. That is the 4th hit of the game for the Merchants. And Kramer drives a double to right. Clark going for it in right field. And was able to reach it, but just couldn't hang on. Good effort for Clark. With the Merchants, with a leadoff double here in the 6th inning, brings Ryan Witt to the plate. In the 3 spot in the batting order, Witt is 1 for 2 with an infield hit. And now Matthew Pinal and Rafael Flores are going to discuss things. And Flores will head back, squat behind home plate, as Ryan Witt will bat here with an opportunity to bring in the first Merchants run of the game. Ryan Witt, a .300 hitter this summer. takes outside from Pinal. After Witt is Kason Taggart.
Taggart catching today. Rotates between first and catcher. Occasionally, you might see him in the DH spot as well.
And it's fouled back to the wall. It's 1-1 here on Witt. Talked about Harold Pyatt. The Merchants also have Mike McCulloch, Bo Blacken, and Josh Berry. Berry, the pitching coach for this Merchants team.
1-1, nobody out, and a runner on at second base.
And here's the 1-1.
See if the Merchants can get on the board here. Wicks.
And it's popped back and out of play. Ball with 2 strikes on number 8, Ryan Witt. A good start today from the newest Goldpanner. Alex Verdugo, 4 scoreless on just 3 base hits, 6 Ks, no walks. Now Pinal, an inning plus of work. He went 1-2-3 in the 5th. Gives up a leadoff double here in the 6th inning. Now trying to take care of Ryan Witt. Ball and 2 strikes as Pinal will step off and reset.
We're looking for a second hit of the game. 1-2 on the way.
Swing and a miss. And he Ks Ryan Witt. 3rd strikeout for Matthew Pinal. And here's Kason Taggart, who's 0 for 2 in the game with that live arm of Matthew Pinal. Taggart has lined out to center and left so far in the game. Merchants catcher in the cleanup spot. And he takes outside for ball 1. Kind of a skinny, lanky catcher, Kason Taggart. And there's a strike. 1-1. Goldpanners and Merchants meeting for the 2nd and final time of the summer. I alluded to some of those teams at the Utah Marshals tournament. Here are some believed to be going to be at that tournament. Things can still change, but the teams listed are the Panners and the Utah Marshals. And then the Nevada Gamblers, an all-star team from the Las Vegas Collegiate League. The Game Day Saints from Colorado. A team from Idaho called the Catch. And the UCL Stars, an all-star team from the Utah Collegiate League. So multiple all-star teams coming down. The San Francisco Seals are a possibility. So are the Waves, who you remember, and the Denver Cougars. So some slots still to be finalized, but that is going to be a very competitive group in Salt Lake City, Utah, to close out the season. You can read a little bit more about that tournament. The MGF Marshals, the Marshall Gates Foundation. Swing and a miss for strike 3, but the ball goes to the backstop, and he's going to be safe at first. Now, Flores got nothing on that baseball, so it just went through him to the backstop. So Taggart able to get to first base, and now the Merchants with a golden opportunity. Have runners at the corners and just 1 out for Will Herron. So Herron, a 1 for 2 days so far, has a chance to get the Merchants on the board. They trail at 5-0 here in the 6th inning. And he swings and pops this one up, shallow right field, but this one's trouble. And making a leaping grab And the runner will tag, and the throw home almost got him. What a catch by Caleb Milliken. It is able to bring a runner in on a sac fly as Kramer scores, but what a catch over there at the right field line by Milliken. He went a long way for that baseball and laid out for it. And in the scorebook, it just says sac fly, RBI. A sac fly to the second baseman. Kramer scores the first Merchants run of the game. It's now 5-1. And now there are 2 outs for Kai Alberghini, who's 0 for 2 so far in the game. The leadoff double for Kramer pays off as the Merchants get on the board and cut into this Goldpanner lead. But still in good shape if Penal can take care of Alberghini. And he hits this one high and deep to left. Brock Rudy is on the run towards the gap. Rudy makes the catch in front of the warning track. And that is it for the Merchants here in the 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Goldpanners 5, Merchants 1. New pitcher into the game for the Everett Merchants as we head to the bottom of the 6th here in Tacoma at UPS Field. Garo Von Dane with you live. Goldpanners enjoying a 5-1 lead. That's it for Jared Luton. Enter Gage Nagy. Gage Nagy, number 12, the right-hander for the Merchants. Starting with the top of the order for the Goldpanners, Dominic Hughes. Tate Shamau and Brock Rudy all due up. Merchants get on the board. Panners limit the damage. It is a 5-1 game, and Hughes lifts this one high into right field. And underneath it, making the catch is Alberghini. An 0-for-4 start to the day for Dominic Hughes. We'll bring up Tate Shamau, who's 2 for 3 today with an RBI, a run scored. He's also stolen a base and also was caught stealing. And he will be followed by Brock Rudy. So Gage Nagy, the third pitcher into the game for the Everett Merchants. And Shamau hits this one towards third on 2 hops. It's scooped and thrown, but safe at first base. An infield hit for Shamau. He has his 3rd hit of the game. Barber got it there quickly, but again, the grass allowing infield singles. Nagy making his 6th appearance. He's thrown 7 innings and given up 10 runs. 10 runs on 7 hits. He has walked 10 batters in those 7 innings. And that one hits Brock Rudy. The breaking ball hits Rudy and puts runners at first and second. Rudy's on base for the 3rd time in the game, 3 different ways. Single walk hit by pitch. And now Rafael Flores, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And an opportunity for Fairbanks to add some runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning right after the Merchants got on the board. So far, a much different game than the one we saw a couple of nights ago between these two. Grounded left side. That is a base hit for Flores. Shamau will come around third, and he will score without a throw. And it is 6-1 Goldpanners. They get the run right back on an RBI single for Rafael Flores, wasting no time, driving one through the hole on the left side. Gold at first and second now with just 1 out. Back to a 5-run lead. That's the 7th hit of the game for Fairbanks. And a bunt is put down, and it gets past the pitcher Nagy, who can't make the play. And Gold on every base. A difficult bunt to field for Nagy. And he was unable to make the play, so everybody's safe. And Blake Hiraki now batting with 1 out, and the base is full of Gold. It is a 6-1 Goldpanner lead and an opportunity here to jump all over the Merchants with the bases full and 1 away. 1 strike on Hiraki, who's 1 for 2 today, had a 2-run single in the 3rd inning, walked back in the 2nd. One and 2 to Blake Hiraki, with Rudy at third, Flores at second, and Milliken at first base. 1 run is in. Panners looking for more, and the 1-2 pitch is a chopper. This one's trouble. Barber has to wait for it. His throw to first is in time to get the runner at first, but Rudy comes in to score, and it is a 7-1 Goldpanner lead. Everybody moves up the base, but Hiraki thrown out 5-3. And with 2 away, it's Griffin Harrison.
Harrison.
Griffin Harrison, 0 for 2 with a walk. He's also struck out, trying to break out of a hitting slump, and he hits this one to the right side. That is a base hit for Harrison. He drives in Flores. Here comes Milliken right behind, and a 2-run single for Griffin Harrison. That's the way to break out of a slump. And the Panners are all over the Merchants now. My goodness. 9-1. Goldpanners in front. A 4-run 6th inning. And welcome to the game, Gage Nagy. Caden Clark, the batter, 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. And a high fly ball into left field. Johnson, a couple of steps in, will reach up and make the catch to retire Clark and the Goldpanners. But the Goldpanners score 4 runs on 3 base hits and now lead it 9-1 through 6. Head to the final third of this afternoon ball game. Goldpanners in front now, 9-1 over the Everett Merchants. We start the 7th inning with a new pitcher on the mound for the Goldpanners, and it is number 37, Ethan Remmers. Ethan Remmers, the freshman from San Francisco State, taking over. He's the 3rd Goldpanner pitcher of the day after Alex Verdugo, 4 scoreless. Matthew Penal, 2 innings, 1 run on 1 base hit. And now Ethan Remmers. Remmers working to the 7, 8, 9 spots in the Merchants batting order. Jack Johnson, Teddy Bishop, and Jacob Burkett. Goldpanners got 1 in the 1st inning. Added 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. And the 4-run 6th inning right after the Merchants got on the board in the top of the 6th. Gave the Merchants a little hope. All right, we're getting on the board. Here we come. And then the Goldpanners plate 4. All off of Gage Nagy in the 6th inning. Garo Von Dane here in The beautiful Pacific Northwest. This game started at 11 a.m. We are now 12 minutes past 1 p.m. locally. 24 hours from now, we'll be taking on the Seattle Studs, a 1 p.m. start tomorrow. Team will head back to the hotel, shower up, and then head to SeaTac and board the Alaska Airlines flight north to Fairbanks. And we'll be happy to see our fans at Groudon on Wednesday, July 13th, against the Inland Valley Pirates.
Here's the pitch from
Remmers swinging a foul tip into the glove for strike 3.
Strike 3 for out number 1. Teddy Bishop.
Goldpanner pitchers piling up the strikeouts today. That's number 11. 11 strikeouts for Goldpanner pitchers and 0 walks. Teddy Bishop has struck out twice in the game. Now facing Ethan Remmers, the left-hander from San Francisco State. Talking to Ethan Remmers a few days ago, and we started talking about music. And Ethan's great aunt and great uncle were part of Waylon Jennings' band. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, there's no one cooler than Waylon Jennings. And Ethan's great aunt and great uncle sang in his band.
Another foul ball.
Waylon, the king of the outlaw country artists. I grew up with a lot of Waylon Jennings, and not just from the Dukes of Hazzard. Waylon also managed to smoke 4 packs of cigarettes a day. Figure out the math on that one. And it's ball 4. Remmers walks Teddy Bishop. But an awesome artist and the real deal, Waylon Jennings. And Ethan's mother's side of the family, very musical.
Teddy Bishop must have been hit by a pitch unless we missed a bunch of balls.
So runner at first base for the Merchants here as Ethan Remmers works to Jacob Burkett, who's 0 for 2 in the game. And that was actually a hit batsman, not a base on ball. So stolen walks issued today. And Burkett, the starting pitcher a couple days ago against the Goldpanners, the starting second baseman today. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2 from Remmers.
Cole Kramer on deck, or rather, Aaron Barber on deck. Cole Kramer in the hole. With one away, Bishop gets his lead at first. 0-2 pitch, just spoiled, staying alive with Bishop.
Fouled out of play. If you don't know who Waylon Jennings is, please take some time to do a little homework after today's game. Waylon passing back in 2002. As this one is hit high on the right field side into foul territory and out of the reach of the right fielder, Clark. So hanging in there with no balls and 2 strikes. Waylon Jennings, born in Littlefield, Texas, and a big-time artist, especially in the 60s. And some of you might know Shooter Jennings, the singer and artist. He is one of Waylon's 6 children. Ball and 2 strikes here on Jacob Burkett with a runner at first base and 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Swing and a miss. Remmers strikes out Burkett's second strikeout of the inning. Many of you remember the plane crash that killed Buddy Holly, among others. Richie Valens and the Big Bopper. J.P. Richardson. In 1958, Buddy Holly arranged for Waylon Jennings' first recording session. as this one is grounded over the mound, and it'll be scooped at second base. The throw to first is in time, and I'll finish that story when we come back. The 4-3 putout ends the top of the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's all Goldpanners here, 9-1. Goldpanners come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning in the driver's seat here, leading 9-1 over the Everett Merchants. Panners wanting some payback after that ugly game a couple days ago against Everett, and so far doing just that, getting excellent pitching and timely hitting, and all over the Merchants here, 9-1 in the 7th. Leading off for Fairbanks is Alex Garcia out of the 9th spot. He's 1 for 3 today with a run scored, 2 stolen bases. It's Garcia, then the top of the order, Hughes and Shamau. Garo Von Dane here in beautiful Tacoma, Washington, second to last day of our trip. The Panners trying to go above 500 on this road trip. Have gone 4-4 thus far. I was talking about Waylon Jennings in the top of the 7th inning. I started to tell the story of 1958 when Buddy Holly was able to hook up that first recording session for Waylon. And it's line to left. A base hit for Alex Garcia. And paying dividends today and rewarding his head coach, Mark Lindsay, with the start today. Garcia with a 2-hit afternoon. And now will cause problems for Gage Nagy, no doubt. Leadoff single will bring Dominic Hughes up to the plate. So at 58, Buddy Holly arranging the Waylon Jennings' first recording session and hired him to play bass. Waylon then famously gave up his seat on that ill-fated flight in 1959 that crashed and killed Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens all in one shot. After that, Waylon had a long music career as a solo artist, and then driving the outlaw country music scene with Willie Nelson and Jesse Coulter. Dukes of Hazzard theme song. It was also the narrator for that show. And then joined the Highwaymen in the 80s with Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, and Johnny Cash. So long, great career. Now his son Shooter Jennings keeping the tradition alive. Goldpanners in front 9-1. Runner at first base. And a 2-0 count on Dominic Hughes. And Hughes, big swing, but out in front of it, popped it high and out of play. If you've ever seen the show Tales from the Tour Bus, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it's an amazing show, and there's an episode on Whalen that is classic. Tales from the Tour Bus by Mike Judge. And originally aired on Cinemax. There goes Garcia. Huge jump. So they have him picked off. They throw to second. The shortstop, Kramer, is going to tag him out as he tries to dive back into first. So Garcia was halfway between first and second, and they were able to pick him off. And the play goes 1-6. So one out here in the bottom of the seventh, and now the base is empty for Dominic Hughes, who has a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
One run on 4 hits, 2 errors for the Merchants. 9 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Panthers. Called strike to lead the count.
Strike called on Dom Hughes, who is 0 for his last 7 since homering. Against the Seattle Blackfins.
2-2 on the way.
Swing and a miss. And Hughes strikes out here in the 7th. And that brings up Tate Shamau with 2 outs and nobody on. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Panthers in front by a score of 9-1. 9 base hits for the Goldpanners. And for the Merchants, just 4 base hits. Yesterday, the Goldpanners held the Studs to 7 hits in the game. Off the end of the bat, fouled out of play. Goldpanners and Studs will meet up one more time. That's tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. from right here, UPS Field. This is for balls 2 and 1.
Guardians have a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first in that contest. And the Rockies lead the Diamondbacks 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
Tate Shamau. 3 for 4 days so far, all singles. He has scored twice, stolen a base, been caught stealing. A full day for Tate. And he grounds this one to short. Kramer up and throwing, and he gets Shamau by a step. Leadoff single, but the Panthers get nothing and leave none on. It's 9-1 through 7. Head to the 8th inning here from sunny Tacoma, Washington. Nice breeze here. Warm day in the mid-70s, and the Goldpanners brought the bats with him this morning and lead it 9-1. Goldpanners averaging 6.5 runs per game. They've eclipsed that here today. The big 4-run sixth inning, helping them to this 9-1 lead. Out hitting the Merchants 9-4. Cole Kramer trying to give the Merchants a leadoff base runner like he did in the sixth inning when he doubled and eventually came in to score on a sac fly. The only run of the game for the Merchants. Kramer, Witt, and Taggart due up here against Ethan Remmers. Swung on and popped out of play. Second inning of work for Remmers as he operates here in the top of the eighth inning. Ball and 2 strikes. Kramer 1 for 3 in the ball game. Played at Lynn Benton. Won their league this year. And the 2-2 offering from Ethan Remmers is fouled out of play. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kramer. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Kramer with some high heat. 1 away here in the 8th inning. That is the 3rd strikeout for Remmers in 5 batters faced. And now Ryan Witt, who's been a strikeout victim twice today, will stand in against Ethan Remmers. Witt singled way back in the first. Goldpanners took a 1-0 lead in the first and then added 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th. They've scored in all but 2 innings today, have the Panners. One more game here on this road trip, and then we'll see you all on Wednesday from Groudon Memorial Park. Hoping that smoke blows out of there and get some rain for those fires. Ryan Witt awaits the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Verdugo, 4 scoreless on just 3 hits. Pinal, 2 innings, 1 run on 1 hit. Now Remmers, inning and a 3rd, no runs, no hits. Here's the 1-2. Chopper, foul, third base side. Studs and Merchants will play later today. And then the Goldpanners take on the Studs tomorrow, a 1 p.m. start here on Pannervision. And make sure to join us. It's the last game for a few days. The wind is picking up here in Tacoma as this one is fouled back and out of play. Ball 2 strikes on Witt. Kaysen Taggart is on deck. Winning pitcher yesterday was Steven Vasquez. Oh, and he drops that one in for strike 3. How about this outing for Ethan Remmers? 4 strikeouts in 6 batters faced. And now it's Kaysen Taggart, who is 0 for 3 so far today. Goldpanner pitchers piling up the strikeouts. 14 in the game. Taggart struck out his last time up, but he reached on a pass ball. And he takes a ball from Remmers. Should Taggart reach, it would be Will Heron.
Heron on deck, Albertini behind him, should they be needed. Urgents.
Beautiful sunny day here in Tacoma. Glad you could join us on Panther Vision.
4 outs remaining for the visitors. This pitch is a dead outside, 2-0.
Panthers must be more morning types than I am, as they have delivered here in this morning game. We're in the afternoon now. So it started at 11 a.m. on the dot local time.
Down low for ball 3. Good hitters count for Casey.
Last year when we were down here in early July, we played here
Should he walk here?
and also over at Seattle University where the Redmond Dudes play, and also at the home of the Highline Bears, who are now the Dub C Fish Sticks in White Center, Seattle. The 3-0 pitch is in for a strike. I kind of wish we were playing back there again. That taco truck was amazing. But no trip to White Center this year.
3-1, 2 away. Pitch coming.
There was also the story we heard last year at that field in White Center. There's like picnic tables beyond the outfield fence. And there was a story of somebody, I can't remember if it was the Studs, somebody was playing there, and there was somebody sitting at the picnic table throughout the entire game and not moving. And after the game, they discovered the man was dead. Police were called. Sure enough, dead man at a picnic table. Ground ball to second. And a 1-2-3 eighth for Ethan Remmers. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. It's 9-1 Goldpanners. Brock Rudy leads off for the Goldpanners as we head to the bottom of inning number 8. The Goldpanners, the home team, awarded home team status after the coin flip before today's game. Tomorrow they'll be the road team against the Seattle Studs. No coin flip for that one. And it is a ball and a strike on Rudy, who is officially 1 for 2 today. He's been on base 3 times. three different ways. Single walk, hit by pitch, scored a couple of runs. He stands in here against Gage Nagy, and he is hit by that pitch. And the umpire saying yes. So Rudy hit by a pitch for the second consecutive at bat. So he's on base for the fourth time today. Everett Merchants is going to get as much as they can out of Gage Nagy today. They got another game coming up against the Seattle Studs. After this one, Rafael Flores is 1 for 3. He's scored a couple of runs and driven one in. Panners enjoying a 9-1 lead. It's been a while since the Panners have had a one-sided score like this. The last time was against the Redmond Dudes, Game 2, the Grand Forks International. Panners winning that one 10-2. And this one is skied in the infield. Shortstop Kramer is calling for it, waiting for it, and finally comes out of the sky. And Flores is out number 1. Brock Reedy at first base for Caleb Milliken now. So for the Merchants in the 9th, it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 spots. Will Heron, Kai Alberghini, and Jack Johnson. Merchants have been held to 1 run on 4 hits today. Two Everett errors, 1 charge to the Goldpanners. Milliken grounds this one to second. The flip to the bag for 1 on to first, not going to get him there. And the play goes 4 to 6 to take care of Rudy. And Milliken reaches on the fielder's choice. Here's Blake Hiraki, who's 1 for 3 today. Hiraki against Gage Nagy. The Panners leading 9-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Breaking ball misses up and in for ball 1. Boy, 2 days ago, that ugly game against the Merchants, losing 13-5, all the walks and errors, hit batsmen, and mental mistakes. But the Panners have been very good since then. That 3-2 comeback win, walk-off style against the Studs yesterday.
1-1, 2 outs.
And all over the Merchants here today, winning in all facets. Pitching, offense, defense. Panners looking good here today. 2-1 to Hiraki. With 2 outs and a runner at first base. And Nagy steps off the rubber. And he misses upstairs. It's 3-1 after Hiraki is Griffin Harrison.
Flores a modest lead at first base. Infield shade slightly to the left. Here's the pitch.
This one is grounded to third. Long throw for Barber. Gets it there in time. And that's it for the Goldpanners here in the 8th. We'll head to the 9th. Last chance for the Merchants. Panners by 8. Ninth inning, and the Everett Merchants need 8 to extend this game. It's a 9-1 Goldpanner lead. They will see a new pitcher here, and it's Kagan Wentz. Wentz taking over now, the 4th Goldpanner pitcher of the game. Wentz faced the Merchants in a relief role a couple of nights ago. 2/3 of an inning, 3 runs on just 1 hit. He walked 3 and got 1 strikeout. And Wentz starts with 3 balls and no strikes. Control has been the issue for Wentz this season. And he starts 3-0 on Will Herron. And a 4-pitch walk to open up this appearance. That is the first walk issued by a Goldpanner pitcher today. Yeah, and shortstop Griffin Harrison comes in for some words of encouragement for Kagan Wentz, who will now face Kai Alberghini. Alberghini 0 for 3 so far in the game, just 4 Merchants hits today, the top hitting team in the Pacific International League. 0-1 on Alberghini. Jack Johnson on deck. Down for ball 1. This game approaching the 3-hour mark. Two and 1 to Kai Alberghini, right fielder for the Merchants. And this one is fouled back to the netting, so count now even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Panners started the day 15 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. Opening day was a 9-inning tie with the Oilers from the Kenai Peninsula. And here's the 2-2 from Wentz. Fouled back to the wall. Stays 2-2. Ethan Remmers, 2 scoreless. No hits, 4 strikeouts. No walks. He hit a batter. It was the only blemish. Now Kagan Wentz walks Herron. And now a 2-2 count on Alberghini, who steps out. And Wentz will reset himself. And get the signs from Rafael Flores. Panners trying to finish off the Merchants here in the 9th inning. And he throws one in the dirt. Flores keeps it in front of him. And the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wentz was tagged with the loss in that loss to Everett a couple of nights ago. Panners have gotten some good starts, though, recently. Meredith yesterday. Verdugo today. This one is popped back and out of play. Garrett Cooper has put a bunch of good starts together. Should be seeing him again soon. And here's the 3-2. And it's hit high into right field. Clark starts in, then moves back and makes the catch for out number 1 here in the 9th inning. The Merchants will send Jack Johnson to the plate. He's having an 0 for 3 days so far. Then it's Teddy Bishop. He's 0 for 2. Panners leading by 8 here in the 9th inning. And Kagan Wentz trying to put together a good outing here. And and finish this game off. And this pitch is popped up by Johnson, and second baseman Milliken on the grass will make the catch. And the Merchants down to their last out. Panners trying to earn the series split with the Merchants, the season series split. And then hoping to take out the Studs tomorrow on getaway day. Back-to-back days with excellent pitching for this Goldpanner staff. Allowed just 4 hits today, just the 1 walk. That was to open up this 9th inning. And Teddy Bishop is 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch, and he pops this one out of play. 1-1 from Wentz out of Mount Sac, sophomore, 6'5" left-hander, California native. Takes the ball up and away. 2-1 to Teddy Bishop, the designated hitter. Merchants down to their last out. And it's popped up right side, but it is going to get out of play. And it has popped up again in the same place, and Garcia running into foul territory and will make the catch for the final out. Kagan Wentz, a scoreless 9th inning. He gets a hug from Flores, and the Goldpanners finish off the Everett Merchants today by a 9-1 final score. Goldpanners get a little revenge after that tough loss to the Merchants a couple of nights ago. And they go back-to-back here with the win over the Studs yesterday in come-from-behind fashion. And today, all over the Merchants, did not have to come back in this one. Panners took a 1-0 lead in the first, led 3-0 after 3, and then just poured it on in the 6th inning with 4 runs. And they run away with it here, 9-1. Alex Verdugo, 4 scoreless in his debut. Matthew Pinal, 2 innings, 1 run. Ethan Remmers goes 2 scoreless, and Kagan Wentz, the final inning, no runs, no hits, just 1 walk for Wentz, and the Panners win it here, 9-1. A 3-hit day for Tate Shamau. Alex Garcia with a 2 for 4 day, and some stolen bases and a run scored, and the Panners get what they need here. 9 runs, 9 hits and 1 error for the Goldpanners. The Studs, or rather the Merchants, 1 run on just 4 hits and 2 errors. Excellent pitching again here for Fairbanks, and they get the 9 runs output and win it here 9-1. So the Goldpanners improve their record to 16-9 with 1 tie on the year, and we'll have 1 more against the Seattle Studs tomorrow to conclude this road trip. Pannervision action for you tomorrow at 1 p.m. You get to sleep in tomorrow. How about that? So do we, sort of. Better than today. Check out Alexis Friedman's pictures from the day on Instagram and Facebook. And follow us on Twitter at Real Goldpanners and me at Voice of G-Man. Garrow Von Dane saying so long from UPS Field here in Tacoma. We're headed to the Mariners game. Mariners and Jays later tonight. Have a great rest of your Saturday, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.